Good morning, welcome to this, your daily briefing. A slightly more compact, if not bijou version of the briefing, simply because there isn't anything fresh around. But what I have got here, I think is absolutely worth sharing. And there's a couple of other bits which we can just sort of throw in, and that should take us where we need to go. Just a quick thank you for those of you that enjoyed or said that you enjoyed. I'm appreciative that not everybody leaves a comment. But the numbers were good for the videos yesterday, showing the player profiles and sort of certain scouting elements. I think they're great value. I think they give us a nice flavour, and as long as they're presented in the right way, which is to say this is a player doing this discipline and so forth, then they can give us a sense of things. Obviously it's not ideal because we have to wait for the player to come and to be acclimatised and all the rest of it, but I think they're more useful than these sort of high tempo YouTube things with like crazy soundtracks blasting over the top. So anyway, we'll be doing more of those and incorporating them into the briefings in due course. Christian Romero is a topic of discussion, and I don't just mean in terms of the transfer itself. Interesting piece here from the Gazzetta dello Sport, and it's actually an interview with Berat Dimshiti, who is a defender colleague of Christian's at Atalanta. He doesn't know if the deal is done or not, but he understands that La Dea are in talks with Spurs over the signing, and again cites the €60 million number, which I mentioned yesterday. And it's just to warn you, because all the numbers that we're getting from the press otherwise are significantly lower, but everything that's coming from kind of Italy, the numbers are a bit higher. He doesn't know what the future is, blah, blah, blah. He says, I don't know if he will stay. What I can say is that Kuti is an excellent defender and a great person. I've always felt at ease with him, and I wish him the best regardless of what will happen. And Atalanta will play the Champions League tournament for the third season in a row. And this is the point that I was kind of getting to, because we don't really learn much from that lad. But and he says, I was really disappointed when we lost the Coppa Italia final against Juventus. We deserved the title, but we have another season to do even better. And this is something that I think is worth raising. Players, there are different grades of players, and you have your elite players, which I would suggest to you that Harry Kane has very much decided he is at that level. And then beneath that level, without being nasty but just stating facts, you have the likes of Sonny, and that's a player who is happy to compete at a certain point, but isn't hell-bent on smashing through the ceiling. And we've had this line from Levy and the Levy apologists for a long time about, we build a stadium and it's the place for Champions League football and all the rest of it, but the metric is winning, and that's what the elite players want to do. I would challenge anybody to name a single player that has come to Spurs on the strength of the fact that we play Champions League football, or we did do, on a sort of routine basis, and that we had fabulous facilities. I think the reality is that even somebody, and if we call things for what they are, Kyle Walker may not be the sharpest tool in the box, but even Kyle Walker knew that he wasn't going to win anything at Tottenham. Now, I'm not bashing Tottenham here, I'm just talking to you about how footballers genuinely think. And Kyle Walker has greater ambition than Sonny, which is criminal, because clearly Sonny is, I would argue, a far more intelligent human being, a far more talented footballer, has a far superior footballing brain. The list goes on. But Kyle Walker could smell it even before the doors were open. And he wanted, there we go, speaking of open doors, he wanted to better himself professionally. And so when the opportunity came to jump to City for 50 odd million or whatever it was, he immediately started winning. And it's a very sort of ancient Rome thing, you know, money and honours. And if you think of the elite footballers almost as gladiators, or, you know, or imperial guardsmen, that they want to be at the very top of their profession. They want to be the number one. And that means that you have money and honour. And you're not going to get that if you're at a club that doesn't win anything. And so Romero, I think, I don't know that the deal's done, but I think it's very close. But Romero may have reviewed his position and said to himself, we're playing Champions League, but we're not getting anywhere in the Champions League. It's ticking over nicely, servicing all the bills, you know, bumping up my worth and all the rest of it. But I'm not winning anything. Now, quite why he wants to come to Tottenham, I would suggest that if he's been pitched right, he might see it with, should we say, greater optimism and positivity than some of us who've been in the trenches for Spurs for some time do. But also, he's going to get much more of a shop window, and I'm not being nasty, but a much more of a shop window playing in the Premier League than he will do in Serie A. And you can debate that if you wish, but that's the way that a lot of people think. So there's been protests. Now, I'm not sure how big the protests are, but certainly the bed sheets have been out complaining against the president, and it appears to be a gang of fans. I did a little bit of research this morning. I'm trying to make this as sort of precise as possible. They're understood not to be part of Atalanta's ultras, if you like. So nobody kind of can really identify which group it is behind this, but they've put these sort of banners and stuff up on railings. And from looking at the correspondents and journalists that I've seen reply to this, they're saying that they've got it all wrong, and the president, if anything, instead of putting up banners, they should be putting up a statue. I don't have the knowledge, the inner workings, the politicking of that club, but there seems to be more voices of kind of rational opinion on the situation than the Romans go home. they've daubed on the sheets. A new player has turned up on Tottenham's radar, and this is Duje Caleta-Car. This is a Marseille player, but there could be something to this. Now, the guy's a centre-back, so, I mean, anybody who tells you that we don't need another centre-back is, to be polite, out of their minds. Estimated to cost 24 million euros. But the real backstory to this, and I hope that we haven't got on our hands another player with a backstory, because we don't need any more of those. We've got far too many of them already. But this guy was apparently very close to moving to Liverpool last winter, so back in January. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of sniffing around, but I would be interested to see why that wasn't pursued by Liverpool, and if he's actually any good. Again, the clips are our friends, because, you know, defensive stuff is very easy to pull out. So it'll be interesting to see if this has got legs. But there's a lot of noise from France coming about this morning, that's for sure. Very good defender, solid defensively, good recovery, may lack a little speed. But listen, I'll have a dig around in the stats, and if I can find some video that will illuminate the Caleta-Car situation, then I shall do so. I'm glad you're enjoying it, enjoying the comments. If you like it, hit like. If you want more of it, hit subscribe. If you don't want any more of it, don't come back. Good luck. Keep it Tottenham.